that a Mariners fan hired a witch on Etsy to cast a spell so that the Mariners can turn their season around. And the Mariners
I don't know what that means.
The Mariners are sick. Well, he hired a witch. He paid a witch.
Like a person?
Yeah, on Etsy. Yeah, a witch. Well, not a person, a witch.
Okay, what Etsy, is that the thing where you can buy like quilts and stuff?
Well, it's your own company. You could sell whatever you want on Etsy. It's like
including a person?
Yeah, it's like
eBay is it like a sex thing?
No, it's like eBay for artists.
Okay.
So like if you have some sort of business, you can put it up on Etsy. But this person
is a witch.
No. The person hired a witch.
Like an witch. Okay. What's the rate for a witch? Do we know?
Yeah, I think he paid like $16 for a spell. So I think
is it done like by mail? Or is it a Zoom that you get on the phone with the witch?
Yeah, I think this witch, she seems pretty powerful because of what happened. But
what happened?
They've won 6 games in a row.
Oh my God!
6 games in a row.
It's got to be the witch.
Since the witch, I mean, is there no coincidence there? I don't see anything. I just see that a spell was cast by a witch on the Mariners to turn their season around. They're 6-0 since the witch cast that spell, and now they are tied for first place in the AL West.
Okay, where did you read this?
On Twitter. I saw it. It was a Mariners fan. He was
what
super
would
excited.
happen if the Astros fan did the same witch? Would the witch do a spell for both the Astros and the Mariners? In which case, like, what about this weekend with the Yankees Red Sox? Are there Etsy witches for either side of that? Because then,
you need
by definition, one of the witches is wrong.
Well, now you need a counter spell.
So is that what you do?
Yeah. So you have an initial spell, and now we need a counter spell. So if there are Astros fans who are listening, just know that you need a counter spell to counteract the witch's spell.
$16 someone charged to put a spell on. I always associated putting a spell on somebody as a bad thing. Like a voodoo, when you put a pin in the voodoo doll. I always associated when you need a spell, it's not a good thing, is it? But I guess it is for the Mariners.
Yeah, well, they have like love spells, right? You can get like a love potion. You can get all these things. So
I've never gotten those. Do you get those?
Well, you saw Wicked, right? Isn't there a good witch and a bad witch in Wicked? So it's sort of just like, this witch might be for good.
Can we talk about the Astros and Mariners?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, we could take the witching out of it.
What's the deal here that we have a way to see that there'll be no difference in the division leaders at the end of September as the beginning of September? Houston was in the lead. Seattle's won 6 in a row. They are now tied with Houston. Texas has won 4 in a row. They're only 2 games back of Houston. Texas is playing your beloved Mets, which is just an absolute nightmare. And the Astros have a real problem because they're going to Atlanta, who stinks. The Mariners this weekend are hosting Anaheim, who stinks. But the Astros can't hit. And they have that new injury. One of their pitchers, Brown, I believe, has some elbow issues. You know what? The game's changed a bit. Players are being put on the injured list in September. And the reason why we never used to do that is there was no limit to what your roster was. Now the roster is limited in September to 28 guys. So that's why you're seeing players put on the injured list in September.
But this Seattle team is what everybody expected them to be, right?
After their great deadline?
Well, no, I'm saying prior to that. Prior to that, this was like everybody's darling team to be sort of like a dark horse to push for the World Series. But what everybody thought was the pitching, right? Everybody said, hey, it's this starting rotation of pitchers who are elite, who are going to be able to carry this team. And then you have a player like Cal Raleigh who comes out, he slugs 53 home runs, and you're like, hold on, there could be something to this. Julio Rodriguez, he like burst onto the scene as when I'm pretty sure he won Rookie of the Year in the AL, and then he sort of got
paid.
Yeah, and then he sort of quieted down a little bit. But he's having like a really great season, just a quiet season because of what Cal is doing there. But they're a really, really, really good baseball team.
You haven't mentioned Naylor. You haven't mentioned Suarez.
Well, I was talking prior to their acquisitions. So the team prior to the acquisitions, they were supposed to be good because of pitching. And, now if the pitching turns it up. I think their bullpen in September has been, pretty elite too. This is who everybody thought they would be. But the Astros, I at the deadline was like, hey, they made moves, they did things, they got Carlos Correa back. They're going to be great.
We talked about the Correa deal. Correa deal. He's not. People in Houston. Have you ever had like a friend or a girlfriend and you freeze them in time and you haven't seen them in years and then you reconnect, but in your mind they hadn't changed, and then when you see them you're like, oh, I guess we all got older. That's how Astros fans took in Carlos Correa when he appeared in their ballpark. They were like, my God, this is the guy. We won a World Series with him. Oh God, he's older now. Yeah, he's not the same player by any stretch. And they've definitely had injuries. And listen, it's not like Naylor and Suarez have been lights out for the Mariners either. That's why this game is so crazy. You never know at the deadline. And we told our audience this. Do not judge the trade deadline at the trade deadline. It's way too early for all that winners and losers stuff that all of us do in the media. It's way better to wait to see what happens at the end of the season, and then even wait longer to see what happens with some of the people who you traded away at the deadline.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about prior to the show. Was the Yankees and Mets bullpens, where when I say we, I mean everybody thought that these were going to be like the two most elite bullpens that have ever bullpenned in the history of bullpenning, and in September they are two of the three worst bullpens in baseball by a wide margin.
What did you tell me, that the Yankees or the Mets have a 9 ERA in their bullpen this month?
The Yankees bullpen, yeah, it's over a 9.